A very good morning to you, craft lot. It is the 10th of June, Wednesday today. I keep having to check what the date is because I keep forgetting it. This year is just flying past for me, I guess. We are still really busy. Thank you for Sarah to doing a lovely Facebook tutorial yesterday. It's really great that we can share it between us, because in some days then she can have a lay-in and some days I can have a lay-in, and it's just really great that we can do it together. Morning, Antida. Oh, I can see there's so many of you lovelies are here already. Morning, Joe. Morning, Marcia. I hope everybody had a lovely day. Morning, Jackie. And let me know what you've been making, what you've been doing. Today, we're going to do... Let me just take a sip of my coffee. Morning, Debbie. Morning, Dean. Sarah. So today we're going to do a lovely art deco necklace. Now, I made this, oh gosh, quite a while ago now. Probably in hindsight, I would choose different colors now to match them, or maybe would do it with all the same color beads. And I also probably would make it a little bit longer because I cut this quite a bit short, so I would have it maybe down here, but we're going to make it today. I'm going to show you how to do it. This is so basic. There is nothing really, this is beginner stuff, very easy. I'm going to give you a few good tips how it's the quickest way to string your beads on and what to do. We're going to be using these really lovely, but I'll show you in a minute properly, patterned chains. They're really great because they got such a lovely links on them to use, and that's what I'm using for the back of the necklace. Now let me just take it off. Now, because this is such a longer necklace, I don't need a clasp on there. So again, it's such a quick make and such an easy to do, and you just sort of get it over your head and really easily goes on and comes off. I got a couple of samples here. I made this one as well. So these ones are pearls at the bottom, and then I got a couple of strands of hematite beads which are staggered in size as well. I think I like the blue one better than the green, but that's me. But if you ask Sarah, she would say, oh, she likes this green one, goldy green one, better than the blue, which is, I guess, that's like, you know, each of us personal taste. So let me just catch up with your lovely comments, and then we'll start making. Morning, Paula. Morning, Dee, Margaret, Debbie, Joanne, Brenda, Gitty, Camille, Paula, Shirley, Doris, Diane, Brenda, Linda, Mary. Oh my God, there's so many of you lovely ladies out here. Oh, Debbie's saying, good morning, good beading day today. It's raining. Yes, it's not, doesn't look very good here either. It's quite overcast. Good morning, Margaret, Sandra, Linda, Sharon, Antida, Debbie, Holly. Oh, there's so many of you, lovely. Lucy's saying, I'm trying to finish off my flat spiral this morning. Oh, bless you. I love that stitch. That's one of my favorites. Annie's saying, morning, Kitty, I need help. I can't stop sending money on beads. Well, I can't help you there, I'm afraid, because I'm just as like, if I see something what I like, I buy it myself as well. So I'm not really know what the word, but it's like me and my husband is a really good mix, because he was an accountant by trade, so he's really sort of on the top of the money side of things, and I just like, I don't really look up money in a sense that if I go in a shop, like I pick up the milk, but if you ask me how much is a bottle of milk cost, I don't know, because I'm more sort of a creative side, and I get excited about like pretty colors and pretty things, and I think we're all different, I guess. So he's my money man, I guess, and he's holding me back, stopping me from spending too much. Morning, Doris. Morning, Pat. Morning, Ira. That's such a lovely name. Morning, Diane, Annie. Right, so shall we get started? If I have any of your comments or any questions, please just put it in there. Oh, Susan is saying, good morning from a very wet Headley, the Suffolk one. Oh, I think the rain is coming our way because it's really overcast here as well. Morning, Amal, Jen, Mina, Lourdes. Oh, right. Let's put you into the lighting rig and let's get started. So a couple of things I want to show you. Now, we've been talking about all these all these bundles we've been doing, and as you can see, we keep coming back and using these bundles all the time. So if you have got our Pro bundle, I'm gonna use hematite as well, but I'll show you the Pro bundle as well, because you can very easily create with it. So all you would need is just the chain. We're gonna use tiger tail. Tiger tail is a nylon coated steel wire, so it's really strong material to use. Usually it's like 7 strands. They sort of wove together 7 strands of wire, and then they coat it with a lovely, like, sort of a nylon stuff. It does come in different colors, but the most one I use is this silver one. So this is the one which is like sort of an off silver. That's the one I use. I usually like keep a 100-meter roll, because a 100-meter roll is only £3, so it will last you forever. But usually keep a 100-meter roll here. Michelle is saying, oh, you're home now, have a good week, I'll pop on the phone you later. So that's probably replying to somebody else's comment there. I love it that you talk to each other. So this was the Pro bundle what we had on the website, and we still have. How can I turn it so you can see all the different colors? There is 6mm and 8mm pearls in here. There is 20 colors, so you get 40 strands of the pearls. Some of them I used up. I used up the 8mm of this pink one. I used up, I think, where is it? This one, the 8mm of this color. So I'm going through this bundle and using it again and again for different projects and different techniques, because if you got beads at home, then you can sort of just sit down and make anything. Lucy is saying this bundle is amazing value for money. I got mine a couple of weeks ago. So this one, the price of the strings would be £50 if you bought them separately, but in the bundle they're £34.99. So you can have, like, you know, they are less than £1 a string, and we are coming back and using them over and over again, day by day. Sarah was using it the other day, I was using it last week with the roses, and again we're going to be using it today. So this was one of the bundles, and the other one I'm going to show you, which we've been frequently using, is this speckled beads. This is such a lovely summer color. I don't know how can I get in. I love the texture of this. So I'm choosing the turquoise because I got quite a few turquoise tops, and I think I'm going to make this necklace a little bit longer so I can wear it with it. But here you got 12 different colors, and what's the great thing about this bundle, that not only you get 6 and 8, you get 10mm as well, so you can do 3 different graduations in this one. And the finish on them, let me just bring this up so I can bring it. You can see the little speckled finish. It's just really, really great. So this is another bundle on the website, and this one again, 36 strings all together, and it should be £45, but it's £29.99 on the website. So if you are short of beads, it's worth investing to one of our bundles, because we're going to be coming back using them again and again and again. Now let me show you the chains. Now the chains are I guess a little bit more expensive, because all they made up is lovely, lovely little things. Like this one has got the hearts on and the little squares on. There is 4 different kinds we stock. I love this one, the flower one. I think I'm going to use this one with my turquoise beads there. It's really, really, you get a really nice pattern on it. And this is the one I got that made the necklace what I got on. So these are just sort of connectors. You can buy some of them separately, but then you only get, I think, about 8 pieces for £1.50. So it's worth to get them in the chain. Even if you're not going to use them as a chain, you can quite easily take them apart and use them. This is lovely as well, this pattern. You can use them as connectors as well. So let's get making. Now, tiger tail is a nylon coated steel wire. We need to make 3 lengths of, let me just take this off my neck so I can show you. So we need to make 3 lengths of these lovely beads here. Now I'm going to start with the longest one. because the next one inside of that, I want to make it just a tiny bit shorter, and the one in the vanilla one, which is this is 4mm one, it's a little bit shorter again. So I get that lovely graduation effect, not alone in the sizes of the beads, but the sizes of our loops, or like the length of our beads, what we put on there. At the end, all we're going to do, we're just going to put a wire protector on and just crimp it. We're going to be really, really easy. So wire protectors are, let me just pick one up for you so I can show you. These little horseshoe shaped findings. So it's got a couple of round tubes at the end, and there's a channel going around where you would put your wire around, and then this would go into your clasp, or in this case it's going to go into this last link on the on your chain. It just makes it a little bit more decorative, a little bit more, but it's really easy to use as well, and it protects your wire, because the wire is, as you're wearing your necklaces, or probably more so for your bracelets, as you're wearing your bracelets, the wire is always rubs along on your clasp, and this just makes it sort of a little bit, gives it a little bit longer life. So first I'm going to use these beads because I just love these ones. This speckle one is such a lovely summery color. So we got 6mm, 8mm and 10mm, and we're going to start with a 10mm. So I'm going to take the whole length of these 10mm beads. Now I'm not going to take them, all of them off the strands, because I'm going to show you a very quick way how you can transfer them onto your tiger tail. So without cutting my tiger tail off the spool, I'm going to leave you on the spool, because I know the length I need to make. So just straighten that. I had a little kink at the end, so I just cut it off. Now I'm going to undo, very carefully undo the end of my strand. Oh, Johnny's saying, morning Kitty, received my speckled beads collection yesterday. Thank you, they are gorgeous. They are so, so amazing. So I need to wiggle this lines, but there's a little knot there, so I'm just going to very carefully cut this here at the end. And then we're going to take a little pair of pliers and just pull that knot out, so we can use this last bead as well. These beads are obviously just temporary strung on sort of like a fishing line material for you, so they will stay nicely together. So I'm not going to take my beads off. What I'm going to do now, this works better if you're holding your string up, because then gravity makes your strand nice and straight, but obviously I haven't got enough room to hold it up. So you would hold your string up, and then you would insert your tiger tail from the top, and very easily, see, I can pushing my tiger tail down, and I've gone through 5 beads already. So I'm just going to transfer those 5 beads to my tiger tail and carry on and adding all the rest of them. So I haven't taken them off, because if you take them off, then you have to pick them up separately, find the hole and string it on. It just takes a longer time to do it. So it's very easy, even if you just sliding them apart, sliding them to the other side. Oh God, I got tongue tied again. Let me just take a sip of my coffee. You can always line up the 2 ends and just slide the beads onto the tiger tail, and it's really that easy. You don't have to look for the hole so much, and very easily in a minute or so, I'm going to straighten this up. Minute or so, you're going to have quite a good length of wire. Now when I'm pushing this down, and sometimes you might need to wiggle it a little bit, so just a little bit up and down motion, because it might be stuck in one bead. But as we can see, where are we? We're all the way down here, so we added probably about 15 beads at the same time. So this makes it very easy and quick to transfer your beads, because I'm not doing any pattern. I just want to use the beads themselves. Oh, Debbie's saying I need more caffeine too today. And Angelina, how lovely name is that, Angelina? I almost said Antida, but it's Angelina. Oh, Bernie's saying these chains are quite robust. I have used for every evening bags too. Oh yes, you could have a really nice decorations on them. So Underline is saying how clever. Now you should see when we go to our like we go on our buying trips to the Far East and we go into factories as well. They even sort of glue the two ends together. It's depending on what materials you use, but they use like lighters, so sort of melt the end of the wire there, the end of the fishing line onto what they want to transfer onto, and then very quickly they just pull the beads across. They're so clever and they do it so quickly that it's really amazing. But I don't think I can do that, because if I lit anything up here, the light would straight go onto the camera, so we know we can't do that. But it's very easily, you can transfer your beads. I mean, it's only taken us probably about a minute with stopping and talking. Right, so I'm just, the last bead, I'm just going to take it off that strand and insert this to here as well. Right, so I'm going to fix the end on this straight away. So I'm going to take one of these they called wire protectors. I call them horseshoes because of the shape of them. You're going to take one of those, and then you're going to, this comes in so many different colors as well, so was the findings. I'm just going to take a few crimp beads there. Now I do like to double crimp my necklaces, but here you probably won't have to. So findings come in 6 different colors. You got silver, you got rhodium, you got gunmetal black, you got rose gold, you got champagne gold, and you got I call this gold, but it's just gold. But because they got champagne gold and rose gold, and the gold is just gold, so I always say gold. So that's your normal gold. So I'm going to take my wire and go through the one side of the channel. Let's just pick it up so it will be easier. Go through one side of the channel, just like that. And then we're going to take the end of the wire and come back through the other side, just like that. So now, if I was using a clasp and I wanted, oh sorry, I'm talking and I didn't. First, you have to put your crimp bead on. Don't forget your crimp bead, because if you forget your crimp bead, you got nothing to crimp onto. Oopsies, even we make mistakes. So put your crimp beads on first, then you go through one of the channels, take it all the way around and come back around the other side. Now, if I was adding a clasp, let me just grab a clasp here. Where did I put it? Oh, there. So if I was adding a clasp, like let's say I wanted to, I can either add it later on with a jump ring as well to it. But if I was adding a clasp, I would need to add the clasp on here now and make sure my wire protector goes through. I'm going to take this off because you're not going to use it. But then the clasp would be on the wire protector itself. So I would have to add it before I crimp my beads if I wanted the clasp straight on that wire protector. And that's it, and just remove that because you're not going to be using that. But I just wanted to show you that there's so many times I do things, you do it automatically and you don't, it's not like you don't pay any attention, but you just sort of do it and you realize that you forgot or missed a step out. Or Brandy's saying, I have lost audio. I'm not sure if it's my end or your end, love. You might have to restart. Facebook is having quite a few problems. Oh, Mark is watching. Good morning, Mark. Leslie, good morning, Leslie. And I'm just going to pull both of those crimp beads right up to the top, just like that. Please excuse the state of my nails. I haven't had time to do them yet. I'm really just like looking forward to the nail bars to open, because when you go down there to do your nails in like 40-45 minutes, but when I want to do it myself, it takes me forever, probably about 3 hours. So I'm just going to push this end together so I can really pull these crimp beads up right to the top, so I have a nice and a neat Oh, Simon's put the audio is working fine. And Diane's saying, okay, here. No problem with audio here either. Mine is okay. Yeah, so Brenda, you might have hit the button on the side where you silence your phone or iPad, lovely. So try to either restart the video or have a look. I did it so many times when I watch something on the iPad and I rest it on my lap and the button gets pushed and then I lose the audio or it turns itself off because of it. Right, so I got 2 crimp beads here. I'm going to double crimp this because this is a 10mm beads and they're quite a little bit more heavier. So I'm just going to go ahead, crimp it as close as I can to my horseshoe shape wire protector, and then I'm going to bring the other one and crimp it right next to it. So I got 2 crimp beads side by side. Then I'm going to take this and hide the end into some of the beads. So we have a nice, we don't want any pokey ends. You could cut the end off right here next to the wire protector, just underneath the crimp beads. I don't like to do that myself because I did it, you know, so many times I cut the wrong bit off. So I rather like to hide them. And once you have your beads on there, you can't see the end at all. So I'm gonna take these all the way down, because all we need to do now is to fix the other side. So we're just going to repeat the process here, adding our crimp beads, then adding our wire protector, and then we're going to take our wire protector down through your bat, the tiger tail through the wire protector, back down through about 3 beads so we can cut it nice and flush to the beads. So we're not going to have any gaps at all. So I'm just going to move this out of a little bit. Now, I don't want to crimp, so I don't want to have any gaps. Once I crimped my crimp beads, I don't want to then have any gaps on my necklace, because sometimes if your tiger tail is curled up and you crimp your beads like that, let me just show you. So if I just hold on to the tiger tail here and let's crimp it up. If I would crimp it up here now, I'm going to hold this nice and tight. So when I undo it, you can see those beads will move down and you're going to have a quite large gap. So when you crimp your tiger tail, especially if it's just a single strand, I like to crimp it, so straighten it out and crimp it straight. So I put 2 crimp beads on there. I went one side of that wire protector. I'm going to come back through the other side, and I'm also going to go through these 2 crimp beads. And I'm going to pull it down nice and tight. I probably should have left just a little bit longer end. And then I'm going to hold on to the wire protector itself. I'm going to take my pair of pliers and just pull down on the end of the wire, so that will tighten it nice and neat. And I'm going to tug this in the first 2 or 3 beads. Now I don't want to let the crimp beads go, because as you can see, these beads have quite a large hole and they would disappear down into them. So I'm just trying to hold my crimp beads here at the end as well, and just tighten it up, just give it a nice little wiggle so it pulls up. And then we're just going to go ahead, then we're just going to go ahead and crimp them. So crimp both of the crimp beads, we double crimped it so it's nice and secure and safe. Just go in with your pliers and just squeeze them right down. And then take your flash cutters and just cut that tiger tail nice and close as you can. So there we go, our first strand is ready. Now we're going to repeat this for the other 2. I'm going to take another 2 wire protectors, and let's do the 8mm second. Now this one you want a little bit shorter than the one before, so you have that nice graduation effect. So again, I'm just going to undo this temporary, it's like a fishing line material, take the end of my tiger tail and keep pushing it down. Sometimes I have to wriggle it a little bit, but it will keep going down through the beads. Straighten this up. I like to do this if you just joined us. So when I do this, I usually held it up and let gravity to straighten the beads out, but because we are so close to the camera, I can't do that here. And I just pull the beads through and then again go in on the rest of them. Just very easily, you can very quickly string your beads on. So as you can see, we're doing 5, 6, 7, even 10 at a time with this method. Oh, Sarah is watching. Morning, Sarah. And just keep adding all of your beads. Sheila is saying, good morning, Kitty and fellow beaders. Haven't done any makes using beading threads for ages. I think, like I always say, it's like once you find something what you really love working with, you work with it for a long time, and you know, you create loads of lovely projects and different necklaces and everything with it, and it's really hard to then change to another medium and start using something completely different. But I assure you, if you do try something, it's like me with the wire trees and the wire wrapping and all the wire techniques. So I tried working with wire, oh God, about 16, 17 years ago, and I did like wire crocheting and wire wrapping and a few different projects with it, and I wasn't really, it's not like I wasn't happy with the end results, but I felt it's not really my cup of tea, or really not like, you know, I didn't, you know, like the look, the end result what I got with the wire. So I pretty much put the wire on the shelf. I never really went back to it until sort of a couple of years ago, when I found these gemstone trees, which I really loved the look of them, and I really loved, like, you know, what you can do and how you can decorate your home with them. And I went back to wire because obviously they're done on wire, and now I just love using wire because of that, because I got confident in that technique. I got confident using the wire, and I would use it all the time now if I could, because it's so much quicker to make anything with it. So when I'm talking about wire, I'm not talking about tiger tail wire, I'm talking about sort of copper wire, what you freeform things with it. So do try out and persevere, because you can you know, you can get back into it, and then it will feel really good when you master something. And we do forget things, how to do things, how to hold things as well, because that's sometimes make such a difference how you hold the wire, or how you know, hold different things. Susan saying, postman just popped my order from yesterday through the letterbox. Wow, that's good going. Yes, so we're back to pretty much normal at the warehouse at the moment. So we're shipping out orders every day, and I don't know about the Royal Mail, because a couple of weeks ago they said they are so behind, but I think they're catching up and back up as well now. So hopefully orders are not going to take long to do as well. So just fix the end. I'm going to hide the little tail in the beads themselves, and then we're just going to fix the other end. Oh, before I fix the other end on, and I chatted and I didn't really pay attention to what I was doing, I guess. You need to make this strand shorter, so you put the two strands next to each other, what you have, and this one is going to have to be a little bit shorter than the one before. So when we're saying a little bit shorter, you probably only need about an inch shorter to create a nice little curve on your necklace and the graduation. So I'm just going to fix this end. Let's leave just a little bit longer tiger tail here to work with and pick up. So that first I did it with the 10mm speckle beads, and now I'm doing it with the 8mm, and then it's only the 6mm left to do. And I'm gonna go through the channel on my little horseshoe shaped wire protector back through the crimp beads, and I'm going to go through a couple of beads as well. Then I can hold on, just holding on to this finding at the top. I can pull these beads down by pulling on the end of the wire. Now if you, my hands are a little bit slippery because I added some lotion just before we started. Just take a pair of pliers and you can keep pulling it down. You can always reshape this little horseshoe shaped finding so it's got more of a nice curve, and just tighten it right up. And again, you're just going to go ahead and crimp both of those crimp beads. You can do with one. I like to double crimp. I like to double crimp because when my children were small, and especially my son, well, he's going to be 10 this year, bless him. But when he was small, the first thing he did when I picked him up is to tug on any necklace or any bracelet or anything I have on myself. He used to just sort of wanted to take it off, I guess, and have a look at it. And I'm going to do it for the 6 mil as well. So if you just joined, this is a quicker way to string your necklaces. You don't need to take your beads off, because normally you would take all the beads off the string and then I would pick up the beads one by one and trying to find where the hole and poke your tiger tail through it. So what I do, I usually do this like hanging up. So I hold at the end of my string up, letting gravity to straighten out our beads, but we haven't got enough room here. So I'm just going to straighten one side and I'm just going to hold on to the end of the stringing material there, which are then the beads are on, and pull. Let's do it this way, sorry. It's easier. And then just keep pushing the tiger tail down into the holes, and very quickly you can pick up so much more beads. Now if you come that it's like, you know, doesn't want to go anymore, you can always just need to wiggle it a little bit. So just pull it up and down a couple of millimeters, and the end of the tiger tail will find the hole of the beads, and you can carry on. And once you have, I think we are even further down, so we added just probably about 20 beads at the same time. Another way you can do it is to hold the ends together and very, you know, just swiping the beads across from one strand to another here. Just like that. Our Dorothy saying, of second delivery of gemstone chips, floral cabochons and assortment, top findings, etc. Oh, lovely. You're going to be a busy bee then, creating. But I love, if we have a little time at the end of the video, I'll show you. I started something yesterday and I was going to put a picture up on Facebook, but then I didn't finish down here again until 11:30 last night, so I had to go to bed. But I found 32 different colors of seed beads of the same finish in size 8 in my stash, so I had to sit down and play with them, of course, and do something. And I show you, and I don't even know what I'm doing with it, or I don't even know where I'm going to put it, but the pattern it's making, I'm doing like a herringbone. It's inspired by these bracelets. I'm doing like a flat herringbone stitch. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it, but it's a progressing, you know, work in progress, I guess. I'm not saying I'm going to playing with the tree later. Right, let's just add this last few beads, and then we're going to measure up how many we need. Now you're going to have a few beads left over of the smaller sizes, or we could have kept one of the bigger one as well for earrings, but I think a smaller one will be good. And then we can perhaps take one of the links from the necklace, because don't forget those necklaces are about 80 centimeters long, so you got plenty of links there, and you're not going to use all that for your necklace. Linda's saying the beads I ordered yesterday came this morning super quickly and super service. Thank you. Loving your videos too. Oh, thank you, Linda. So Royal Mail must be back up to full operation now, because we try to get everything out of our warehouse as quick as we can, but once it leaves us, it's you know, we are in the hand of the postal service how quick they are. So I'm just going to pull this up nice and tight and take my pliers and just crimp these crimp beads, and then we're gonna bring our beads up and hide this tail here, just like that. So don't forget, you don't have to use 3, you can just use 2 strands if you like, 2 different sizes on your necklace. And now I'm going to measure up this next to my 8mm beads, and I probably need to add 1 more bead to have the same sort of reduction in size as I had with between the 8mm and the 10mm. So I'm just going to add 1 more bead, and let's have a look. Sorry, you can't see it. Let me just pull this down a little bit more. So I'm just going to measure it right next to it, and I have, this is probably about the same amount of reduction we had between, I'll put this here as well so you can see the 10mm as well. So each of those strands, as I got smaller in size of the beads, I'm getting smaller in the length of my necklace as well. And I'm just going to fix this last end on, and then it will be super, our necklace is going to come together really super quickly. So this was, I guess, the longest part, is to string your necklaces on, but you can do it with any beads you have. If you want, you can either add a pattern to between your beads, or anything you like. I like to, when I use multi-strands, I like to leave them plain, because as they say, sometimes less is more. So I just added the 2 crimp beads. I went through one side of my wire protector, coming back through the other side and through those 2 crimp beads as well. I'm going to hold on to the wire protector, and I'm going to pull this end down, and I'm going to take it through. Oh, Sarah's saying speed beading today. You know, sometimes you just need to make something quickly. And I do say it that, well, sometimes I buy tops to match my jewellery, but sometimes when we're going somewhere and you have a top or you have a dress you want to wear, but you haven't got any jewellery to go with, you very quickly have to make jewellery up to sort of go at in. So techniques like this are really sort of help, because you can make something a really spectacular, something a really, you know, nice evening wear or day wear, depending on what beads you use, very, very quickly. So if I guess didn't have to talk it through, and I was just sitting here making this necklace, I would probably get it done maybe about 10-15 minutes tops, even with the earrings as well. So I'm just going to line those up. So as you can see, we got 3 different strands here. Now the ends are just here, so maybe I should have, if I wanted a bigger gap between them, then the last 2 strands I should have left it shorter and shorter, but I wanted them sort of kind of bead together a little bit. And I'm going to choose one of these really lovely, I'm going to do this with the roses. I like this one. So this one has got roses, and it has, then it's got like a round link linking it together, like a little pattern on there as well. And then it's got like a square, rectangle rather, link, and it's repeating it over and over again. This one's got hearts. This one is really lovely as well, I guess. And the flower as well. This is the one I already made a necklace of. So I'm going to use the roses this time. So measure up how long do you want your necklace. Now it doesn't have to be, you know, these ones about 80 centimeter long, so you're not going to use, you know, maybe just I'm going to use a little bit over just half. So I probably could get out a bracelet and the pair of earrings as well, because we can use these one lovely little links on the earrings as well to match our jewelry up. So I'm going to use just over half. Now, you're not going to need a clasp, because obviously it's going to be long enough to be able to take over our heads. So that's fine. So all you need to do, I just need to grab another pair of pliers, is to take this last link. So I'm going to have to go through that link and this link. I'm going to I'm not going to cut this because these are such nice decorative links, so I don't want to lose them. This link is just like a jump ring. It's got a little cut on the top of it, so I'm going to treat it as a jump ring, and I'm going to twist one towards me and the other one away. Now the link below it, or even the one with the rose, you can't open the loops on those because they are welded closed, but on these rings you can. And then I'm just going to add my sizes on. So I'm going to add the smallest one first, then the medium size, then the largest size, just like that. Let's pull these down, and then I'm going to twist it shut, and that's it. We fixed it to our chain, and they're just going to sit there nice and easy. Now I'm going to bring this chain around. I'm going to make sure this chain is not twisted, and then open up a link on the other side as well, just like that. The only thing you have to be sort of make sure here is that you're adding your other end in order as well, so you don't get sort of a twisted finish on your necklace, so they're nice and straight. So I want a little bit longer necklace, so I'm gonna go this link right here. So again, I'm gonna treat this as a jump ring. I'm gonna open it up, I'm gonna remove the rest of the chain, and this time I'm gonna go the largest one, then the medium, and then the smallest one onto that link. Then I'm gonna close this, twist it back shut. Sorry, I just lost the last one. I was just quickly looked at the window. What was that noisy machine going past? But it's the road sweeper. So that's it, and our necklace is ready, nice and straight. And actually, I think it's going to be a perfect length. But if I need to reduce it, I can very easily sort of open any of the links up and take some length out. Now, for an earring, let me just show you quickly. I don't want to sort of bore you too long, but for an earring, I want to use one of these lovely little links because they're so nice and decorative that I could really use that. Minnie's asking, do you just make the length of the necklaces shorter or longer by an inch? Yes, you do. So I started with the longest one, which is the largest one, the 10mm one. So now I used up all the beads on that. Then I did the 8mm one, which is just a slightly, probably about an inch smaller. If you want it, depending on how much gap do you want between your strands. This one is going to be sort of a little bit them sitting on top of each other, but I got this other necklace here where I have larger gaps. So by meaning larger gaps at the bottom here. So to achieve larger gaps, each of these strands have to be smaller and smaller. So compared to your longest strand, the next one has to be 1.5 inches shorter, and compared to the middle strand, the smaller one has to be 1 inch and a small 1.5 inches smaller again too. But the smaller you make the top ones and the middle ones, the larger gaps you're gonna have here. So you could utilize sort of beads everywhere as well. But again, these strands doesn't have to be longer. They can be, shorter as well, or the whole front of the necklace. If you just wanted to make a necklace which is not as long as this one, you just wanted something which is sort of sits just under your collarbone, you would have to add a clasp to your chain then, but you could just use perhaps a few beads. You don't have to use maybe quarter of the strand of the 6mm, a little bit just over quarter of the 8mm, and maybe a third of the largest one, and you could have a lovely little pattern on a shorter necklace as well. Right, for the earrings, again, I'm not going to cut these links because I want to save them so I can use them elsewhere in other projects as well, especially these, because these chains are, they're a little bit more than your normal chains. They are 80 centimeter long, so I'm going to save this one for later, but I want this lovely, no, it's on the other side. I want this lovely rose, because I'm going to put that on the earring. Just take this out. We're going to save that for later as well. And we're going to open up these two to get another rose out of it. Now you can use any of the links you have on there. Open this up. We're going to need a bit bigger. So try to support your ring as much as you can with your pliers, and then take that off. So we're going to use these two links. I'm going to save these for later. I'll do some, like I still got longer than a bracelet enough, so even I could make a bracelet as well. So for your earrings, because your ear wires are, let me just grab one. I use the silver digital eye findings. So the loops on the bottom of your ear wires are sitting that way, so you really want to add this link right at the top. Now we can't open the loop on the top of this rose because it's sort of welded closed. What we're going to do, we're going to take and open up the link on the ear wire, attach this rose and just close it back in, and that's it. We got the rose on the ear wire itself. I'm going to repeat this on the other one. So we just do a pair of them and close this one as well. Now because there is another loop on the bottom of this rose, I don't really want to leave that exposed, so it's almost sort of asking, please put something on me, because connect something to something else as well. So what I'm going to do to sort of link it in with my necklace a bit more, I'm going to take a couple of 8mm beads I got left over, and I'm just going to turn them into little charms with the help of a hat pin. Sorry, I'm just going to have to reach behind here. Sorry, wobbling camera. To get my hat pins out. There we go. I thought I got the hat pins out, but it was the eye pins what I got out. So the hat pins are little sort of nail-like pins. It's got like a flesh bottom to them. I'm just going to pop my little bead on there, turn this to a 90°. So when I must make these, or I want to make loads of them, I usually do the processes by processes. So I would insert the pins, I would turn them, put them down on my mat, and then I would come in with my cutter and cut them too, because you only want about 1 centimeter at the top here to turn them into loops. You don't want really sort of big massive loops, you want little ones. And then I would cut them one by one, every single one of them, just like that. Oh, other way around. I kept the end there and I almost put the bead into the bin. Right, so once we have our right length on our head pins here, you're going to take your round nose pliers, you're going to hold it nice and flush. So if you rub your fingers at the top and you can't feel the end of the wire, you know that's really sort of nice and in the middle of them. And then just going to roll it back down on itself. Now you don't have to roll it all the way in the same motion. You can come back, you can release it and roll it again. But because we bent it to a 90° at the top, we got this really nice loop at the top. We can form it really nicely. Now, if you then do form your loop and it looks like a little bit like a pea or a shepherd's crook, or it's out of shape, don't forget, you can always go back, insert your pliers and just slightly attach it to the shape you want to attach it. It's wire, so you can form it and form it again. So now we got a couple of little beads to go to the bottom of our earrings. Now again, this loop you can't open up. Diane's saying the roses would be nice in a bracelet. Yes. So you can't open up this loop at the bottom. So I'm going to have to treat the top of my hat pin, head pin here as a jump ring, and I'm going to twist it open. So I'm not trying to bend it out. I'm going to twist it open just like I would with a jump ring. So I'm going to hold on to that and take this loop and lift it up, and then I'm going to add my link on there. Oh, come on. That's it, and I'm going to twist it back shut, and we got one earring ready. So let's quickly do the other one, then I can put it in my ears and show you. I love a little bit dangly earrings. I've been using these links. You just extend your earring a little bit and it's going to look really good. So that's it. And let me turn the camera around so I can show you, and actually I can see your comments better as well. There we are. Hello. So there is our necklace, and voila. Oh yes, this is a perfect length for me. So as you can see, they're going to sit nice and sort of under each other. And we haven't got any clasp. You can't even see the ends there. I think it's really great. And the earrings, if I take these out, again, going to sit really nicely and just pull the whole look together. Where's the other one? Oh, I'll take this one out. So it's really perfect. It's really nice. So if you have, I got quite a few sort of low cut tops, and I got in the summer, I guess when you get the weather get hotter, you want to wear like, you know, little v-necks or little tank tops, or like, you know, little vests. And you don't really want, because it's hot out there, you don't really want your jewelry up here in the top to making your neck, I guess, hot and sweaty. So that's when these necklaces are really perfect to wear in the summer, because you still got something on and you're still really dressing up your wear, but it's not it's really nice and cool and sweaty and loose, and I really love the look of it as well. So that's it. This is how easy it is to make something a little bit of an Art Deco look, I guess, but it's really nice and easy to make. Now, materials you could use, I just used the speckle beads here, but in fact I bought home some amazing hematite beads as well. And I think I'm going to make one of this as well for myself. So hematite beads as well. I'm going to use 4, 6 and 8 mil. They are really nice. They're mind mirror. They're really cool and nice and feel to your hands and you know, when you're wearing it. But I think this silver finish, and why am I trying to show that one? Let's just grab one of these here. This silver finish will go really nice with this antique silver chain as well. So I'm going to make one of this for myself later on, because I do wear a lot of navy blues and I do wear a lot of blacks as well. So I think this is going to go perfect with it. And I picked up the pearls as well. So you don't have to do 3 strands, you can just do 2 strands. So if I just take one out of the equation, as you can see, 2 strands is still going to look really nice. So from your pearl bundles, you got 6 and 8 mils there. And I might even make this one up for myself as well. You could do lovely necklaces there as well. And I brought home, I might have a little go at this as well later on, because they don't take so long to do, so you can just sort of do them very quickly. This is hematite again, and these are faceted ones, so I might even have a go, because they're really nice and sparkly, to do one with these. I have a little play later on this afternoon. So that's it. Really easy to make your Art Deco necklace. Don't need any clasp because it's long enough to go over your head. You can make it shorter, like this one is a little bit shorter, so this one just sort of comes down, just sort of your boob line, I guess. And then you can make it longer as well, like I made this one to have you know, a little bit more length on it, which when it comes in the summer, when it's nice and hot out there, it's really... Joe's saying hematite is my favorite. Yes, mine too as well. I've got so many different things in hematite, and I made so many different things in hematite because you know, hematite can be magnetized as well, and it's got a high iron content, I guess. The mineral itself, It's a mined mineral. It's really nice to work with, very cool to the touch as well as other, I suppose, semi-precious gemstones as well, but it's sort of inexpensive because hematite, you get a string of hematite like from £1.50 upwards, £2.50. I think the most expensive we stock is about £6 or £7, like the heart or star shapes or anything, what they have to shape a lot. But what they do with hematite, which they don't do with many of the other gemstones, is you can buy them, they plate them. So they do put them through the same process as they would put through crystal beads or any of the other beads. These ones hematite as well. So this one is green iris and this one is blue iris. So they do plate them to all sorts of different colors as well. And even though they have the plating on them, they still feel nice and cool to the touch, and you still get the lovely, very smooth finish what you would have with the hematite as well. But it comes in so many lovely different colors, and there's a couple of colors they've released, no, 3 colors they've released earlier this year, which was a really pale pink, a really pale blue, and a really pale pink, and they look really good as well. Alison is saying it's storming hell, gale force wind here in Cape Town. Couldn't think there is anything better to watch you in creating a magic beadwork. Oh, lovely. So this is a really easy make. Have a go at it, Alison, because you will love it, and you know, you can it's just another technique, I guess. So I hope everybody's okay, and everybody do have a lovely day. The weather, I'm just looking out the window, it's not so great here. It's gonna be, I guess, maybe raining later on. I haven't asked, usually I ask Alexa every morning when I get up, Alexa, what is the weather like today? But I forgot to ask her today, this morning. Julie's saying, do you sell the magnetic hematite beads? Yes, we do have some on the website. They are, I think, 4 by 7 millimeter little faceted rondelle sort of beads. They are really, they're really nice as well. And maybe we should do a video on that, actually. You've given me an idea, because with the magnetic hematite beads, you can have a wraparound bracelet, and you don't need to have any clasp or anything at all. You just create sort of a really long, I'll show you, I'll put you on the list because it's really great one to do. But because you can wear it as a wraparound bracelet, but you can wear it as a necklace as well, because the magnetic beads will connect themselves together. So I'll do. Oh, Linda's saying it's raining in Great Bentley as well. So Great Bentley is about maybe 5-10 miles from me. So probably the rain is coming here very soon. So have a lovely day. I hope you enjoyed the video. It was a very nice and easy make. Do have a go at it. Check out these lovely chains because of the links. I think, you know, they are just really great to work with, and you can, you know, save them, even the little rings on them, and you can use them in different projects, because even the ring has a lovely little pattern in it. I don't think my camera can focus on it right well, but it's really nice and decorative, something to work with, and something easy as well, that you don't have to. Sometimes it's just nice to do something like sort of easy and quick. So Sarah's going to be with you tomorrow. She's going to be doing, what is she doing? Oh, she's going to be playing with erudite beads. So erudite beads is something we launched a couple of years ago. They are a range of beaded beads, and we got like 4 or 5 different ones. She's going to be playing with a Czech crescent. So erudite beads are large hole beaded beads, which then you can swap around. And you know, we did the herringbone bracelets. Now you can make size 11 herringbone necklaces or bracelets, I guess. And you can take and put those beads off and on of it. You can swap them around and change the colors as you, whatever you want to wear them, sort of. You know, you can have a little collection. So even if you just make one, you can start wearing it, and you can make more and more, and fill your bracelet or necklace up. So I'll see Sarah tomorrow for the erudite beads. I'm not sure what she's doing on Friday. I did all sort it all out, but I will post everything into Facebook just right now. I'm going to sit down and do that for the rest of the week, because we sorted everything out what we're doing. So it will be in the events page. Do please share the video, because it's really nice to get new people into the crafting, especially if it's something easy like this, you know, to do. And Really appreciate it if you share the video. Do join our groups because there's so many lovely and I suppose most of you are joined the group by now, but on Totally Beads we have got some groups which is just sort of like-minded people talking to each other, sharing ideas, sharing pictures, what you've been making, and you know, I really love to see what you're making, and so is Sarah as well. I always say it's a proud mummy moment, because when I show you something how to do it and then you take it even more and even further and do loads of nice things with it, I just feel really proud when people do something really nice with my designs. So do share your pictures in there, and otherwise Sarah's going to see you tomorrow. I'm going to go, and actually I haven't had breakfast, I'm going to go and have breakfast, and I will see you Monday, I think, my next. So you're going to have Sarah for a few days. Have a lovely week, and I will be on answering the comments tomorrow as well, but Sarah's going to be doing the videos. So have a lovely week, have a lovely weekend. I will see you on Monday. Sarah's going to be with you tomorrow, and keep on crafting, keep on beading, and share your pictures with us. Bye.